Hey guys, firstly I just want to apologize for missing Saw Saturday last week. A lot of stuff was going on and I was busy with family. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We are doing Saw 5 tomorrow though, so stay tuned. I just kind of skipped that week, but I'm not skipping that film. We are doing Saw 5 tomorrow. And today we're talking about Final Destination 4 for today's Final Destination Friday. Now usually I go back and watch the film that I'm going to be talking about, and as I mentioned last week, I didn't have to do that for Final Destination 3, and I didn't want to do that for Final Destination 4, otherwise known as The Final Destination. This was meant to be the last one in the series, but as we all know, it's the fourth one out of 5. I think that's pretty ridiculous. Maybe they didn't know. I mean, I guess they didn't know that they were gonna do a 5th one. They're like 1, 2, 3, the final one, and then we have another one, so it wasn't the final. There's one more. This is the worst one in the whole series, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with me, because whenever I see people talking about this series, this one is always everyone's least favorite. I didn't rewatch it. I've seen it twice. That's enough for me. I own it because I own all the Final Destination films. Because I had to round out my collection. It's one of my favorite series. But I really dislike this one. It makes me laugh, but not in a good way. The opening scene that we have here is a premonition of a crash at a race car track. And all the deaths that happen at the track are really ridiculous. So unrealistic. At least if it's like a roller coaster crashing, you know people are gonna die and it's gonna be in weird and gross ways because it's a roller coaster. You're like super high and there's like metal everywhere. Just the way people die in the first scene is so over the top, and it would not happen that way. I don't care how I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's so unlikely that it just like it makes me laugh. I don't find this one scary at all. It tries to get to you, it tries to build suspense, and it just is so over the top that it's so ridiculous, and I can't with this one. I don't think the character line and the storyline really matters. It's the same old thing, premonition, people live from the track and then they end up dying in order that they would if they were on the track. Like all Final Destination films, there's always little things about, like during the film, that hint to previous ones, like when they're in the coffee shop on the TV, they're talking about faulty roller coaster equipment at an amusement park. 180 is a huge theme throughout all of the Final Destination films. You constantly see that number. I will have to say that this opening scene is my favorite out of all of them because it shows, it's like, I can't explain it. It's like almost, I think this is the one with the x-ray vision of all the deaths that happen from the first 3 films, and it is so cool. Like, I think the beginning is a piece of art. The intro with the credits, I love it. I wish I could just like have that in my house, like as a piece of art, just playing over and over again. But that's the only good thing about this film. This is the only one where Tony Todd is not in it because of scheduling issues, so that's another thing where it like throws you off because he's the voice in the 3rd one, he's in the 2nd and the 1st one, so it's like to not have him in this in some way is strange to me. This one does, however, have the most deaths out of any of the films thus far, out of the first 4. It has 11 deaths, which is a lot, and they're not even that cool, to be honest. I think my least favorite one has to be the one where she is at the hair salon. And the reason is it builds up so many different ways where you think something's gonna happen and it doesn't, and that is not how these films are supposed to go. I don't know, I just feel like they went out of their way to be ridiculous and suspenseful when they did not need to do that. So James Wong directed the 1st and 3rd one, and then David Ellis directed the 2nd and this one. And I have to say, James Wong films, like his 1st and 3rd one, are the best. I mean, I know I said the 2nd one is my favorite, but that's because it's the most scary to me, and it's not necessarily the best one out of the series. It's just the one that terrifies me the most, but I still think the 1st and 3rd one are the best cinematically. And then David Ellis did the 2nd and 4th one, and the 4th one definitely is the worst in the series. I feel like it was just out of nowhere. Like, a lot of it was just weird and so not like normal like Final Destination films. This also contains the funniest death out of all of them, and I think you know which one I'm talking about, the pool one with the suction. Like I said, the deaths in this are so ridiculous, so over the top, that they're funny and not in a necessarily good way. I feel like this is one that you could sit with your friends and literally make fun of everything and just laugh because the deaths are so weird and like dumb sometimes. I'm actually kind of sad that we're almost at the end of Final Destination Fridays, but I do have some really awesome things planned, new series coming up in August and stuff like that, so I hope you're excited, and let me know if you have any other movie requests, series requests, things like that. I don't know exactly what I want to add to this channel. I am going to be reading a horror manga book, which is different for me. I don't read manga, but it's my boyfriend's and he wants me to read it because it's very The Ring-esque, and so let me know if you want a review on that. I'm about to finish Bag of Bones by Stephen King. Let me know if you want a review on that. I don't know if you guys are interested in book reviews at all. I did one before. Let me know if you want future book reviews. I don't know. So with all that being said, make sure to stay tuned tomorrow for Saw Saturday. We're going to be talking about Saw 5, and I hope you're excited. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
I never thought I could see my own death before it happened.